What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Cauldron Black Ram, entitled Stalagmire. This is released on 20 Bucks Spin. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Adelaide, South Australia, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very sludgy, doomy, pirate-themed style of black and death metal. I really wasn't aware of who this band was or what they were all about until I found out who exactly was involved in this band. Notably members of bands such as Martyr and Mournful Congregation, two very, very well-known bands within the Australian metal scene, death metal and doom metal. Two really, really great bands in their own right. This has been somewhat of a little side project of theirs. Of course, everybody is in their own respective bands, but they have this particular project that has so far released 3 full-length albums. Skullduggery, Slubber and this third full-length album that I'm about to talk to you about, entitled Stalagmire. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around 33 minutes in length. And the main thing I notice about this album and the previous works that this project has put out is that this is an album that definitely is short, sweet, and to the point. No track really tries to lumber on longer than it needs to. Everything feels right and fits perfectly. That's the kind of pace you get with this album. You get some songs that really definitely have a bit of a sludgy mid-pace type of vibe going for it, but the way that this album runs, it has a very, very good and infectious pace to it. It really wants to make you bang your head while listening to something like this. And I think they definitely get the job done here with this album. There seems to be a lot of growth and movement from the previous works that they've put out. The guitar riff work on here is really, really heavy. I mean, that's where you pick up the almost sludgy, doomy type of elements going on with this album, done with the death metal structuring, but still just the instances of it being so heavy is really, really noticeable. Like the first couple of tracks that you hear on this album, like Fork Through Pitch and Ma, just some really, really devastatingly dirty sounding guitar work. I really love the tone that's being displayed here on this album. It feels very ugly sounding, very dirty sounding, and I definitely picked that up with this album, to even a track like Cavern Fever, which I believe is an instrumental track. It really showcases the kind of detail that's being done with the dirtiness of the guitar tone, and I think it's a really, really entertaining track to listen to on its own. As far as the bass guitar is concerned, it is very audible, very, very, very well heard, very well mixed in the production, very, very entertaining bass tone. It definitely is a nice akin to what's being done with the guitar riffs being put forth on this album. Moving on to the drum work, I think the drum work is very, very sensational sounding. It definitely has a little bit of variety going on. Most of the tracks have a bit of a mid-paced, moderate kind of pace to them, but you do get instances of some really good blast beats, some nice double bass, the occasional fill or two. There's just a lot of good moments going on with the drums, and it definitely is the kind of drum performance that just makes you want to pay attention to each track that's being done here. It definitely adds to the overall atmosphere that this album definitely has to bring. And going on to the vocals, I think the vocals are very, very awesome. I'm really appreciating the kind of vocal delivery that's being done here. It's almost as if the vocals are being done in a very narrative storytelling type of vibe. I mean, you're paying attention to what the vocals have to say, and just the delivery of it sounds very, very good. It's very understandable, extremely well worded, very rough, very tough sounding, and that's what I appreciate about this vocal performance. I think it's really, really cool. And going back earlier to what I said about this having a bit of a pirate theme, I think it's very interesting. I mean, this is not the kind of pirate themes that you would be expected to hear about, because, of course, when most people think about pirate-themed metal, you would think of stuff like Ailstorm or Swashbuckle. This is absolutely nothing like that, and I really wouldn't want anybody to assume that this is that type of of music. I mean, it's black and death metal, but the themes, the lyrical content, just the overall storytelling aspect of this album really, really makes it stand out amongst the rest. And honestly, I think this is the band that definitely does this kind of style to perfection. I really, really appreciate their usage of the lyrical content and the overall themes and styles. I think it's really, really awesome. So if you're a fan of sludge and doom, if you're into black and death metal, if you're into what this band has put out previously, you'll find something to enjoy with Stalagmire. I think this is a really, really solid album to listen to. Quick-paced, good production, good riff work, just a great intensity going on with this album, and it really makes for many, many multiple listens. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Fork Through Pitch, Ma, a litany of Sailor Sins, Cavern Fever, and From Whence the Old Skull Came, which I think is one of the more heavier Black Death influence kind of songs that you'll pick up on this album. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album, possibly buy it, listen to it. I'm going to leave you a link to the $20 Spin Bandcamp where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. Buy it digitally if you care to. It is also available on $20 Spin via CD and vinyl versions. Whichever version floats your boat physically, those options will be available to you. So again, the album is Stalagmire by Cauldron Black Ram. This is released on $20 Spin. Definitely support this band, and I'm going to give this a very solid 8 out of 10. Really, really awesome Black Death. I just love the sludgy, doomy, piratey type of themes going on here with this band and this album. So support Cauldron Black Ram. I'm gonna conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.